knock, knock.
Gabriel, I knew you had the remote control.
This guy.
Here, I got you. You focus on your driving. All right, let's rewind that a little bit, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, the Elite Drift Shop, are you ready? Let's go ahead and send it with the lights. And with that, we have the first top 16 battle underway with Joshua Strictly Sideways versus Louis with Broke Boys. They're going tandem to tandem, door to door, as they transition beautifully into the next outside zone. Joshua is impressively leads, joining him right back up in the chase, leading into a nice second outside zone to the third outside zone. Let's see how deep Joshua will get into there. Pretty nicely done as he transitions to the inside. Louis will be super aggressive, trying to push him away. Line him up. Going into the second half of this battle is going to be Louis in the lead. And with Joshua in the chase, wow, right out of the gate, Joshua is not backing down and is bullying that poor little Infinity. But that Infinity is not letting up as he leads a clean, solid lead line all the way through the course, driving right through the crowd under the arm, showcasing to him what exactly a drifter must do, which is leading a solid lead line. However, the chase driver Joshua is going to be throwing out some pressure. From the E-Man, the Apex Light S13 versus Devin in the S15. Blue versus pink, or purple, whatever color the Apex Light is in. It's going to be really good as it goes around the track here. E-Man leading a solid lead line all the way through. Devin's right there in the chase, trying to upset that car, but it looks like he upset his own car in the main game. While E-Man slides completely. Drivers ready. Watch the lights. The young prodigy versus a veteran of Hit and Run. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's that first initiation corner. E-Man is already right on that door. He is making his mark on that Hit and Run vehicle. Meanwhile, Devin is on pace as we go to that first outside zone, transitioning into the second one. Really close nose-to-nose action right here. E-Man is known as an aggressive chaser, and he will constantly hunt you down in that chase position. Watch as both drivers go into that final outside zone. The pressure is on! There we go. 3 times the charm. As we go 3, 2, 1, the lights go off, and the Altezza is ripping down the track already with Raph right on that second door, right behind him. A little bit of a correction, trying to catch up to Christian Altezza. But that car is just loose like rails on track, and it's just flying through the course right now. Turbo is just going through all of that battery percentage to keep that Altezza right to the wall and just going parallel over to bumper track. Watch the lights. And here we go with a really nice start from both drivers. We got Raph in the lead, Christian in the chase. Woo! A little bit of a correction from Christian, but he gets right back up onto Raph's S15. That S15 is leading a pretty solid lead line right now. Christian, however, is not backing down in the chase. He's finding every opportunity to get right up to his bumper and transition beautifully and stick it right to it. He parks that Altezza right behind that S15 with a beautiful run. Watch the lights. Here we go, a flying start from both drivers. Wow, phenomenal lead from Patrick. He's right there in the chase position. Reminding Patrick that he isn't the dominant chase. Patrick's going to go a solid lead line right away with a good consistency of speed as you go into the final outside zone. Both drivers set up their cars perfectly. Unfortunately, Patrick taps the judges. Are you guys ready? Drivers, are you ready? Watch the lights. And here we go. A good start from Anthony in the lead. Patrick right there. Whoa, almost overtaking the chase. And backs off to not overtake Anthony as he needs a really nasty lead line. Putting that car where it needs to be. Watching the transition. A little bit of contact with both cars. So not going correctly by mistake. Then now going into that fourth and final outside zone. We'll transition to the final zone all the way through that line. Let's see how Anthony gets the wall. And it absolutely not backing down. Ooh, looks like we got some proximity back there. But it looks like we're going to be using that to advantage. A little bit of back and forth between Gabriel and Carey as they go into the final outside zone. Gabriel setting up his mark beautifully for the final zone, while Carey is trying his best to there we go. Finally got the light. All right, here we go now with Carey in the lead. Gabriel in the chase. A great flick by Carey, going all the way to that line. Ooh, a little bit of a correction to the top of the wall there, but now it looks like Carey's going to travel away. However, Gabriel's right there on his end now. So Scott on the ball. RX2 trying his best to run away from the competition, but managed to make a pretty solid lead line as we go from this zone to that zone. A beautiful rear bumper put on the wall. Almost looks like it's an over rotation. Motor going sky high. Drivers are ready. Watch the lights. Here we go. A nice start from Andy. His S13. Matthew's right behind him, almost applying that chase pressure, just going toward him at this point as we transition beautifully into our first 4 outside zone. So, here we go from the first to the second. Here we go, Andy. Following up the third. Nicely done as well. Here we go to the fourth and final line. Pretty smooth there. Good. Absolutely great, like that final outside zone. His teammate Anthony Torres over there, edging him up, seeing some beautiful line and angle all across the board. Now let's swap sides with Matthew in the lead, Andy in the chase. Judges, are you ready? Drivers, are you ready? Watch the lights. Here we go, a rocket ship with start from the Focus RS, followed by the S13. Wow! And he's becoming absolutely nasty in the chase right there with that transition. Close and the proximity there. Whoa, almost looks like an over rotation from that. We're trying to transition into that first outside zone of the 4. Here we go from the third and now the fourth. Is that keeping close enough? From my angle, it looks like he was, but we never know from the view. A little bit of a wall tap here. Will it be another one? No, he keeps it clean off the wall. Start, but nonetheless, Julian is out to a rocket ship in that WRX, followed by Tommy in the corner. There's Tommy. Here we go, over to that first and second flip. Nicely done with that little touch and go. And here we go for 104 outside zones. Do you miss that second one? Will we miss the third one? Looks like there, but from the fourth one, looks like we get nice and close to the wall after there. Here we go, turning into that wild zone. Rear end all the way sky high, keeping it close, but off the wall. Drivers, are you ready? Watch the lights. The lights are down and the cars are going. Here we go with Tommy in his Corvette, Julian in his WRX. A little bit of a touch and go with a sonic spin dash right off the wall there. Here we go into the 104 zones. Beautiful transition as we sideswipe into our third and fourth one. Will Tommy get close to that wall? Yes, he will in that Corvette since it is a short rear bumper there. Wow, he gets really up close and personal with the final zone over here as both drivers make their way across the line. Third time's a charm as always. And now, with our second one more time, a little bit of a hop, skip, and a jump with that beautiful Corvette. Let's make sure that the WRX and Corvette can stand side by side with each other as we go through the first of 4 outside zones back to back. That WRX is swinging beautifully as he goes around the course. Tommy and his Corvette are breathing right down his neck of that screaming American V8 as we go into that first final outside zone into the second one. Drivers ready? Watch the lights. Here we go, going into the second half of this battle. So one more time out to the side. Who's moving on? Is it Tommy or Julian? I don't want to be a downer or also a predictor, but I might think Julian might be taking this home. But you never know until it's over, folks, because here we go now with the rest of this course. Tommy's going to line it up quite nicely on this outside zone. Ooh, touching the walls here and there. But I think after that tap, I think we just solidify time. And with the lights, come on now. There we go. With the lights a go. And now here we go with the cars into the first team. And they're back now. So let's see if my beard
Come on,
transmit
Trendy.
these electrons to there.
It's first day, okay, first day.
Judges ready?
First day.
Drivers ready after that rerun? Let's watch the lights. Hey, it worked! I'm going to use my beard more often to show off the lights. Well, here we go. No contact first at the tee, and now we're diving right into that first outside zone. Trevor and his Haven Run S14 are right next to that GR86 Red Devil. Here we go now into the second of 4 outside zones. And all the way into the fourth one. That GR86 is putting that rear cover to the wall and putting it to work as we go into that final outside zone. Looking beautiful and looking great! Giving them the green lights. Didn't work the first time, but it did the second time. But here we go with Trevor in the lead and Jan in the chase. A beautiful dive into the corner. Both drivers' proximity is insane as they go into that first outside zone together after launching. Now going into the 1 of 4 outside zones together. Hitting it just beautifully deep into the pocket, as always, from Trevor and his team. With the GR86 Red Devil right behind him, piloted by Jan as he goes to the final outside zone. That rear end is going to come all the way around with a scrub of the ball. No change. Here we go. Joshua, strictly sideways. E-Man, apex glide, right on top of the door, right out of the gate. Absolutely insane driving so far. We're only halfway through this track as it goes to 1 of 4 outside jumps. As we make our way to the second one, Joshua is playing his car perfectly. Meanwhile, E-Man is side by side with him as both drivers go into the final zone. Beautiful inside transition. Let's see how we can clean up the proximity as both drivers are on top. Let's go ahead and send them. And here we go. The lights are a go. E-Man in the lead with a really nasty initiation, followed by Joshua and then GR86. Oh my gosh, these two are just absolutely going at it for that title spot for the final 4. Here we go, transition to that second outside zone. Bumper to bumper transitions all around. These two are very familiar with each other. They like to battle it out, go head to head, door to door. Light it up. And with the lights a go, here we go with Anthony in the lead, Raph in the chase. Good initiation. It looks like Raph was trying to correct himself, which he has, and now is back in line with Anthony as they go into the first of 4 outside zone. Here we go, transition to the second one quite quickly. The third one is very nicely done. Keeping that ball all the way to the wall and into the 4th outside zone. Transitioning into the final outside zone. Let's see that rear end come around and in control all the way through. Judges ready? Judges? Judges, you guys ready? Wow, that's awesome. Drivers, are you guys ready over there? Let's watch the lights. Nope. Here we go. Raph in the chase. Anthony in the lead. Wait, let's flip that. It is Raph in the lead. Anthony in the chase. Whoa, Raph looks like he slowed down just a little bit there. Gets really deep into that first outside zone on 4. Anthony gives him a little bit of a punt in the rear. Just a reminder that he is in the chase. Raph is on base as both drivers go into the final outside zone. Let's see that proximity got close. As they both make a phenomenal finish across the line. Judges ready? All right, watch the lights. Let's find out who's moving into the final 4 between Gabriel and Andy. Wow, great initiation, great on the attack back there. That was fantastic. Both cars were just absolutely aggressive in the lead and the chase. Andy's going to be hunting down Gabriel as his S13 is piloted right on the side of the floor. Gabriel's unfazed as he transitions to that final outer zone. Andy's going to be coming up off the side and onto that final zone. Drivers, are you ready? Watch the lights. Let's go ahead and find out who's going into the final 4 with Andy versus Gabriel. Andy's going into that first one with a strong lead. Gabriel's right there in the chase, unmatched and unfazed right now as he dives into that door. Andy's going to take a wide approach, a little bit of contact as they try to transition into that second outside zone. Now the 4th one, Andy's really nice and the lights. Here we go with Julian in the lead. Trevor in the chase. WRX versus Nissan S14. Wow, and it is a beautiful match so far. With Trevor matching Eagle from the first line of sight next to Julian. Julian is going to give him a great lead line as both drivers make their way down the course. For that front double, we'll be able to make it deep in there. Yes, we will. Just a little bit of a touch and go as we go into that final outside zone. Trevor